Hello. Have you ever wondered how you could make an AI agent that can read from a PDF knowledge base and also answer questions about it? Well, stay tuned. This is Jay Techie. Subscribe to the channel, comment on this video. Without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to be building this in n8n today, and I have a self-hosted n8n on my own website here. And alright, so I have already created the agent, and I'm going to go through each step that I added here. So don't worry, I'll explain it. As you can see on the screen here, I have the nodes from n8n on here, and so it's split up into two major parts. This part up here is the AI agent configuration, and then this part down here is the thing that gathers the PDFs. And first I'm going to go over the AI agent structure. So first we have a chat trigger node here where it's live right now, so I will test it out for you guys later. And so that allows you to be able to chat with the AI agent. And then I have an AI agent node here, and then inside the AI agent node I have it connected to the chat trigger node, which was the first node. And then I have, when you have an AI agent inside n8n, you need to connect three different connections. So the chat model, so I have the chat model GPT 4.0 mini and OpenAI account, and here is where you configure your OpenAI key, API key, so that you can use their chat models. And so of course, to edit your credentials or add your credentials, you'd hit the pencil, or it will prompt you to create a new credential, and it's straightforward on how to add your key to that in order for that to work. And so next you would go here, and there's a memory node, and a memory node it's called simple memory. So you're going to add a simple memory node right here, and what this allows it to do is to save the chat history and to remember what you said to it last. And then finally, it's a little more, the most probably complicated part about this is adding the tool to it, and I'll go over how I did that. So in n8n, it has an option to store the PDFs in a simple vector store, which is a little database where the PDFs will be able to be accessed. And so you have to make sure in operation mode you say retrieve document as tools for AI agent, and then you name it, and then you give it a description, and then you give it a key, and you're going to use the same key later in the PDF retrieval part. Alright, so you make sure you have those settings, and then also down here there's an embedding icon where you would choose this, and then you would again choose your OpenAI credentials, and then you would choose text embedding 3 small, which is fine. So make sure you have that connected so that it can work properly by retrieving the information from the vector store so that the AI agent can read it. And that is what you need to do on the agent part. Now, next, I will describe what I did on the PDF retrieval. Alright. So, on the PDF retrieval, it's another workflow, but it's going to be in the same project. And this time, instead of a chat trigger node, you put a regular manual trigger here, and so it's going to be a regular manual trigger, and then after that you don't really need to put anything else in here, and then you connect that to a Google Drive node, and here you'll need to configure your Google Drive credentials, where you'll have to turn on the API and also add a OAuth user inside your actual Google account, and it should walk you through that. And once you get that set up, you would put it inside your credentials here, and then the next thing you would do is choose file folder under resource, operation, you choose search method, search file, folder name, and search query is basically what is basically what is the subject matter. Alright, and then I'll go ahead and go to the next node, which is another Google Drive node. And in this Google Drive node, you would do similar. You would set this up similarly, and then you would set this as advanced search and search, and then query string, and you would set this string in here, and where you get that string is, so you would get this string from your Google Docs folder ID, and then after that you would make a third Google Drive node, and this time you would put in your credential, and then resource file, then operation download, and then here by ID you would place this in the previous name of your Google Drive node, which so you would put this, and Google Drive 1 is actually the previous one we took a look at here. Alright, and then finally you would add a simple vector store here. This one's called Simple Vector Store 1, and this one up here with our AI agent is just called Simple Vector Store. Alright, and inside our Simple Vector Store, we would go in and set operation mode, insert documents, and then from list, which will be the same key that we put in our Simple Store AI agent, and you have to make sure these two keys are the same. All right, and then you add an embeddings to that one, which is the OpenAI embedding here, which you would include your credentials and the embedding like we did for the agent. And then you would need to add something called a default data loader. And then you would need the type of data, binary, and then the mode, load all input data, and then data format, automatically detect by MIME type. Alright, and then down here, there's a text splitter, which you will need to add, and you can set the parameter to 1000 chunk size, chunk overlap 200. Alright, and then, so yeah, that's what this recursive character splitter was for. Alright, and now, if everything is correct, you will be able to talk to the AI agent about your PDFs. Let me show you guys what PDFs I have. Just one moment. So the PDF documents that I'm testing today inside my Google Drive are 3 UAP related documents released on the Department of War website of recently released UFO related previously classified information. And so now I have these 3, and now I will ask my AI agent about these particular documents. So in order to test it, you can go to active here, and on the chat trigger, you can go ahead and enable make chat publicly available, and then copy the URL provided, and then here is the chat. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and test it out in front of you guys today, and let me go ahead and prompt it with a question. Alright, I crafted this question. Do you have any reports from the FBI related to UAPs in your knowledge base? And I'm going to go ahead and ask it that. And it says, yes, I have found reports related to UAPs. One notable report includes forensic sketch interview involving a U.S. Army intelligence officer and 4 other members of his unit who observed a UAP over the Cheyenne Mountains. And I'm going to go ahead and say, can you summarize this report? Alright, so can you summarize this report? And let's see what it's coming up with. And then it comes up with a summary. And the day was described as having a perfect blue sky with no clouds, little humidity, and a temperature of approximately 50 degrees. The description of the UAP, the object was described as a potato shape with distinct edges. It appeared painted in a creamy whitish opalescent color and was somewhat translucent, exhibiting a slight shimmer. Alright, so it actually did do what I wanted it to do, and also let me ask it another question just to make sure, it can look up something else as well, and let me craft that question. Alright, thanks for watching. That's all I wanted to show you guys today. And if you want a copy of this n8n template, please comment on this YouTube video below. Subscribe to this channel, like this video. This is J Techie. Until next time, peace.